Hello everyone and welcome back. Today we have a very different topic to discuss. Can we utilize the principles of physics to sociology? Can we make it a more mathematical science? Well, I think we can. Because thermodynamics, which is a very strong field in physics that is chaotic and statistical intrinsically, resembles very closely a social system. A social system, like in thermodynamics, has a completely chaotic trend in essence. But one can, like in also thermodynamics, can draw conclusions about the macro elements of that system. But I have a very strong, bold view on this because, you see, using this social perspective, I think we can understand time. Because in physics, we understand time using the second law of thermodynamics, but we introduce that second law by ourselves to the system. So axiomatically, no law in physics can deduce this bilinear nature of time that we obtain using the second law of thermodynamics. But maybe that understanding comes from sociology, because you see, if every social element has a direct correspondence in thermodynamics, maybe entropy, which is a very strong and fundamental principle in thermodynamics, has a correlation in a social system. That correlation, the entropic correlation, might be in a social structure that social network always gets bigger by creating connections. And those connections, understanding those trends in a social structure gets harder each generation after generation, because you see, it's like you have a set of cards and then you mix those cards, which has numbers on them, of course. Every time you mix those cards, the probability that you will get an ordered set of cards decreases each generation. So it's like each generation those social cards are getting more and more chaotic. So why I'm explaining this? Because we don't know the reason that we have an entropic law, actually. We don't know why time is bilinear, but maybe, and many psychologists actually believe that, because Jung and I think many other 20th century psychologists who are revolutionized the field of psychoanalysis introduced that time is the byproduct of the consciousness. And by correlating sociology to physics, entropy to the social network, and the increase of connections in the social network, we can explain the nature of time also. Because time in a social structure, when you think of it in terms of that terminology, is the result of this. And I think sociology corresponds to classical mechanics and psychology to quantum mechanics. So we have no way of understanding, at least at this point in 2025, how mind works. So the theory of quantum mechanics, in a sense, that corresponds to psychology, is very unknown. It is an unknown territory. But we have classical mechanics, we have sociology. We know how chaotic a social system gets. So in a way, we can explain the reason for our perception of time by using sociology, and that actually corresponds to thermodynamics. So thank you, and have a nice day.